It feels good to be back, guys, but it's more important to get the show on the road. Hello everybody, welcome back to Music Perspective, the only show that actually compares artists rather than tears them apart and just analyzes them for reviewer bait. My name is V, and we're returning once again with me going over 2 self-made stars. But here's the only catcher, which is that I'm going to start off with the one I don't know all that much about, even though I've done extensive research on, but I still feel like there are some air holes with it, before I go into an artist that I know a little bit more in-depth about. I'm learning! Anywho though, let us now begin with the first artist of the video.
Please put your hands together for Dodie.
Hi, it's been a while since I chatted to you.
So as we begin the episode, as promised, we're going to go over Dodie Clark, aka Doodle, who started her career in 2011. She had her first song, Of Rain, and has ever since then been a household name, making up original songs, doing cover songs, basically been that sweet hometown girl in far-off UK. And she's made a strong enough name for herself where she's had her own coming out song, she's had her own ukulele covers with a bunch of different artists, like Thomas Sanders and Joan Kozak. 2 artists I may be going over in the future, and I may have butchered one of their last names, but we're gonna move on though. How would we describe Dodie Clark's sound? Well, it's kind of a small ethereal type of voice where it's kind of humdrum, sort of very bassy, kind of like an Adele in the making, but with the same exact range as, if I'm maybe so inclined, a better Celine Dion than Celine Dion. And yes, I am insulting Celine Dion by saying that Dodie Clark is the far superior artist. I do not apologize for those actions. So, how will we describe her own thing as a self-made artist? Well, 7 years of doing her own hard work and labor, making her own self-established on the internet, is quite frankly an astonishing feat by itself, but by doing so consistently for 7 straight years and making a household strong brand for yourself. Yes, I am saying household, house-made a lot, but that's because it's supposed to emphasize the point of Dodie Clark's whole success is actually something inspiring for young artists. Her sound, very ethereally grounded, very home-drone, making you feel like you're sitting across from your own sibling, your own best friend, your significant other, as they're singing to you a nice little lull. Make sure that you're in a great place. Make sure that you feel that whole nice environment where you can just snug up by the fire and have a nice little embrace with everyone that you ever loved and cherished every day of your every moment of existence. This lady alone is very unique in her sound, her appeal, and most importantly, how she carries herself to where she's not like other artists. Sure, I could throw out other examples for her of like artists in her same range, her own bracket, but that's not that important. What's important is how she stands alone in her lane, how she stands alone in her market, and how she stands alone to market herself as a strong singer, a strong performer, a strong everything that is good about the music industry. But enough waxing poetics, because we are reaching the 3-minute mark. It's time that we move on to the next artist in general. Roll in the transition!
Hey everybody, it's officially no longer silent release day.
And so in comparison to Doodle, aka Dodie Clark in the UK, who could be another self-made artist that we can go into? The answer is Giana Lynn Music. Having the same exact time frame as Doodle, 7 years in the game, probably more off camera like both of them probably are. Giana Lynn began her career while still in the educational system and has since evolved into her own self-employed musician, having her own album and another EP, probably working on another album at the moment, but we're going to go into that when we do an actual review on No Longer Silent, probably coming out this December. But back to the video itself. Giana Lynn's whole musical standpoint is that of, how do I put this? It's sort of like having a mermaid or siren lull a sailor into a nice long sleep if they're having turbulent nightmares aboard a long vessel. Or, it's kind of like one of the muses upon Mount Olympus just trying to sing and nurture one's own wounds with the power of sound. It's kind of like, if I may be so inclined, to a little bit more downgrading the appeal. It's like if you were to hear the nicest sound, and with your synthesia, if you have it, you see a range of colors due to how this whole sound transcends just an ethereal standpoint to make sure it breaks time and space, to make sure that you see something, quite frankly, magnanimously incredible and immaculate and mesmerizing at the same exact moment in time. That is at least me downplaying not only herself, but other artists in that whole range and bracket. Dodie Clark is no exception. However, the only thing I could say of note is that from anything that you would hear from Giana Lynn, it's not something that is supposed to be, oh, so it's just the teenage girl's diary music, or, oh no, it's just someone's whole heartbreak, someone's whole dastardly plan to make sure certainly you have the feels. No, it's none of those two brackets at all. It's instead the makings of a true artiste that is trying to elevate her own sound, her own message, her own essence to become a lot grander than her own self, her bands, her friends, her own people on her streams, which you probably should check out by the way. It's instead something of a beautiful measure that is supposed to say, hi, I'm here, my name is Giana Lynn. I am using the law of attraction to make sure that all the music I'm trying to portray for you is supposed to transcend every responsible notion in your mind saying that time isn't an illusion, but it truly is. So why not just embrace that illusion with me by sitting down to hear a few of my songs? Oh crap, I've gone over the 3-minute. No! Transition now! Okay. I've got to start getting back into my whole serious demeanor, so no more expressiveness, no more going over the top things to illustrate my point. We're going to go straight into the facts, a professional. So, with these two artists alone, what can we deter right here and right now? Well, with Dodie Clark, she's made herself a full-blown phenomenon throughout every single staple of the name phenomenon. She's known not only through her own town, but through all of Europe, all of America, probably has some stuff in India, Asia, all throughout most of the continents that we all know about. I still think that we have a secret one budding in our midst. But she's also someone that is kind of downplaying her own unique sound waves to make sure that she stays in that humble lane that can only go a little bit further before she just decides to go full-blown force to become the ethereal angel that we all know that she is. In that same category, though, we have Giana Lynn. She's gone on to make a few different albums, gone on to be on a company that we will not discuss, because I didn't discuss it. We also have her with her brand new EP as an independent artist, where she's going that further distance for herself to say, hi, I'm here, I have a voice, listen. But I still feel like, just like Dodie Clark, she's holding back a lot of herself that really could be transcendent, could be something that could shatter the whole world for where it stands, where the whole music industry could be turned on to its side and then flipped over again to just land on its head in astonishment to how powerful these two women could be. Because although I could be very dramatic and be very astutely out of my mind and God to say how great these two individuals are, that would just defeat the purpose about what I'm saying here, which is that they are incredible. Their sounds, although immaculate and incredibly unique, are only the small stepping stones to what I sense to be a stronger voice behind it, a stronger sound behind it. They have the makings to be not only the greatest of all time in their own brackets, their own unique genres, but they also have the makings to be some people that could go down in history as the makers of amazingly original music that could make anyone feel anything the same way that you'd feel if you heard a Linkin Park album, the same way that you'd feel if you heard Adele sing, the same way that people felt when Aretha Franklin, may she rest in peace, was just trying to sit down and make an incredible song anthem no matter what for you. They have that making, and that's what makes this whole thing a big enough tragedy to what I want to say as a negative. Because they hold back so much, I can never really understand or really try to comprehend how unique their own unique sounds are. They're still holding back so much of themselves where I feel like they're not giving us even 50%, but at least 45%. Something of that small bracket that says that they have talent, but they're not going to use the full force of it out of fear, out of maybe not understanding how other people would perceive their unique wavelength on the subject matter. I understand that, but it also makes me sad because I want to see more. I want to understand more. I want to actually get a vivid message and detail over what's to come. I want that more than anything, and that's what bugs me the most when it comes to self-made artists, where they know how good that they are, but they're afraid of what would happen if they completely give themselves to their talent, their music, their gift, how they could become that next level beyond even their own unique idols, their big figures that made them go into the music genre to begin with. Did I say genre? I meant to say music realm, but whatever. It still goes into my point where I want to see more as time goes on. Maybe not immediately, maybe not in the next year, but sometime soon. Because I want to see better artists on the radio. I want to hear better artists on the radio. I apologize. I want to see better artists in music videos. I want to see them selling out concerts the same way that to just kind of give a slap in the face for a second. I want to see better artists than Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, or any other sort of low budget artists like that get the appeal that these higher up artists actually are, but they just refuse to go that extra mile for. Maybe that's just my whole small delusion. Maybe that's just how I want to see things change up in the whole world of music as it is today. All I'm saying is, it's a small thought that we all should be giving towards these self-made artists to become better than what they have been. So maybe we should make sure that's an actual step forward to make it a true reality. At least where I stand.
Whoa.
Well guys, that is all we have for today. I wanted to make a bigger video about this, but in all actuality, I'd rather not try to blow everyone's eardrums off with how many things I could say about both artists, because although I don't know as much about Dodie Clark as I do about Giana, there's something beautiful to be said about all these artists as a whole. Maybe I'll make a bigger video about this when it's the whole series finale, maybe I won't, but at least where I'm sitting, I gave you guys a decent enough show in my opinion, where I could do better in the redo of this whole episode. Maybe I'll do worse. But we have to focus on the next two artists, which is kind of long overdue. So I'll see you guys in about 2 months. Maybe a month.